and send in your thoughts via SMSs and through the comment section. Also, Fridays are usually open mic, so you get to react to stories that made headlines this week. Let's get right into the papers.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
All right, this morning we start off with the Nigerian Tribune paper. Major stories making the headlines, beginning with police ban Dubra activities during Eid al-Kabir in Kano. Court affirms jurisdiction to hear Bayara's right suit. Supreme Court reverses judgment in federal government suit seeking autonomy for LGs. Labour will demand minimum wage arrears. NLC TUC speaking there warns federal government to consult workers before submitting figure to NARS. LG autonomy, federal government pointing accusing fingers at state governments, and that is coming from Makinde. Mandates council chairman to fix 30-kilometer roads each, to invest 15 billion naira yearly to reduce school infrastructure deficit. Tinubu replaces Ben Akabweze with Taminu Yakubu as DG Budget Office. Nigeria's inflation rate to hit 34.37%, says Cape Economic Research. 400-level Delsu student feign kidnapped to extort 50 million watt Bitcoin from dad. Wow. Just wow. Troops arrest suspected killers of 5 soldiers in Abba. Implement 2014 confab report now. Clark tells Tinubu wants Igbo treated better. Olubadan designate inspect new palace. These are the stories on the front page of the Tribune paper.
Now going straight to the Nation newspaper this morning and starting with the banner headline, screaming and having Wale Edu on the front page, shaking someone from the World Bank. I hope this can also affect Nigerians more. The way he's smiling at Nigerians should be smiling to the bank. World Bank okays a $2.25 billion support package for Tinubu's reform. And, this writer says, Edo, resources will be used sustainably to achieve development goals. Hope that will bring food on the table of Nigerians. The cap headlines: 774 councils can't afford to pay 62,000 naira wage, said chairman. At Rider, Supreme Court reserves verdict in federal government versus state suit on council autonomy. Other cap headlines: Olakule inspects ready for use Olubado Palace. And next headline says, Fashola asks Assembly to review Lagos tenancy law. This and more you can find from the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, now to the Vanguard newspaper. Nigeria's 289 delegates lodges at ILO conference in Geneva. More stories from the Vanguard paper. Motorcycle import rises to 205% to 73.59 billion naira. Sanusi, how I want to be remembered as Emir of Kano. State of the nation, there is hunger. New anthem, not priority. Makinde, we're still talking about this. LG autonomy, Supreme Court reverses judgment of federal government suit against 36 governors. Hardship, Labour kicks as 20 states deny workers' wage award. Minimum wage, we will pay what we can afford, Tinubu. Promises to send executive bill to NAS, says fall at Eagle Square is Idobale. What's that? For democracy.
Dobale.
Must be nice. Senate passes 25 legislation, 115 resolution in 1 year. Senate leader. NCDC alerts on cholera outbreak. NFF moves to salvage Super Eagles World Cup chances. Is there still a remedy for that?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, we just played how many matches? 4 matches, and picking 3 points. And remember, we're still going to play a few more games. So, I mean, things can still happen. Who says that South Africa will not lose at home? Who says that Benin Republic will not lose in Nigeria?
All the best to them.
So, this is the first time we'll be feeling bad about Super Eagles of Nigeria.
All right.
My friend, eat good food. Let's talk about the Punch newspaper this morning and looking at some headlines here. Well, the cap headlines coming from the Punch newspaper this morning, Friday, June 14. FGI's fresh $500 million World Bank loan for rural roads. LG funds, Supreme Court reserves judgment as states battle AGF. NMPC withdraws a suit against ExxonMobil. Seplat, $1.28 billion deal. And the pocket headline coming from the Punch newspaper this morning. 45 billion naira has been spent on Eliza Day Varsity, says Adeojo. Banner headline screaming this morning on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Dangote refinery plans 5.3 billion liters fuel storage. And this one says, the writer says, with 600 million liters more storage capacity, our plant will become strategic reserves. Dangote. Okay, so we know on Sunday is Ileya. And, well, based on market survey, buyers in last-minute rush for Salah Rams lament exorbitant costs. We need to ask the likes of Ijoba, Basla, and the other Muslim colleagues who will be celebrating Ramadan. I'm sorry, Ileya. And will you be around? Okay, you'll be in the office on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's on Monday. The celebration starts.
Yeah, no, it starts on Sunday.
Oh.
Yes, so you'll be the first person to enjoy.
If there will be a provision for, with the way things are, I mean, we're already seeing headlines.
So someone already,
course.
so someone said, okay, so maybe the plan is buy the ram, put it in pieces and give it to people instead of saying let us fry. We prepare fried rice, we prepare stew and amala because of the amount. I mean, how much it costs to buy pepper right now. But looking at other headlines coming from the Punch newspaper, unremitted gas royalty flare penalty hits $1.4 billion. 94 to die by hanging for robbery, murder in Ekiti. 62,000 naira minimum wage. Labour faults politicians jumbo pay. National Assembly gets bill after Salah. And these are the headlines we have on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning. Punch, Vanguard, The Nation, and Nigerian Tribune. Well, now let's go straight this morning and talk about Oyo State and talk about Nigeria. Let's start from the local scene. Well, Governor Seyi Makinde on Thursday addressed the State of the State, had a State of the State address at the State House of Assembly yesterday, and talking about the plans of the state and having different collaborations and moving the states forward. And after that, we'll be listening to former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba.
I was in London a few weeks back. People thought I was on holiday, but I didn't go on holiday. I went to work. We signed the final investment agreement, and this cycle $100 million project, the FID has been signed, and its completion date is Q4 2025. So indeed, Oyo State is fostering an industrial revolution through deliberate plans and strategic action. Earlier in the year, we were in Morocco and returned with a multi-million-dollar deal. This weekend and the whole of next week, we are off to Asia. I've gone there because we were invited by the World Bank to share our experience on the Ibadan Urban Flood Management project, and also for us to seek additional funding to ensure that no part of Oyo State is ever going to be flooded again.
Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde speaking there. So, if this is happening, that means we shouldn't be hearing stories of flooding, and we should be expecting more IJR for Oyo State government. Well, now going straight talking about experience of June 12, same as what Mr. President is currently facing. Someone who has faced that before, but as a governor in Ogun State back then. as a chief Olusegun Oshoba, saying that, well, he understands what Nigerians are facing, but Nigerians should still believe in the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I cannot lie to you that I don't know that a big for everybody, a big for me. But I will always say, after darkness, there will be a great dawn. We should all join together to work towards a greater dawn tomorrow. Well, I sympathize with the president himself. He is going through what we went through in 1999. When we were elected, we were invited to a meeting of Afenifere, and where we were instructed to go and declare free education immediately. The day as soon as we are sworn in, we should declare. And I said, no, I will not. Because I said I wanted to know what is there in the government. By the time I got to government, I found that the military left me with 9 months salaries of pay to local government workers, 6 months salary of pay to workers in Ogun State. Could I have declared free education? You see, I think he didn't wait to study the situation that he was going to meet on ground. He got into government to realize that the situation was much more serious and terrible than he thought.
Former Governor of Ogun State, Olusegun Oshoba, speaking there. But remember, Mr. President had once said that, don't pity me. I called for the job. All right, Comrade Aide Jadishokpa is here this morning. Comrade, top of the morning to you. Thank God it's Friday.
Hello.
Comrade Aide Jadishokpa, are you there? We're with you.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, Comrade, are you there? Okay, let's just hold on. Just hold on. We're trying to connect you now. Comrade, good morning to you, and thank God it's Friday. Hello. Okay, so I guess Comrade's number is also having a network glitch this morning. But if Mr. President could say that, don't pity me, and someone is saying maybe he rushed into power, can we say Tinubu rushed into power?
Well, I will go back to his statement, May 29th, 2023, don't pity me. I will live up to expectations. That was the assurance he gave Nigerians. So, you will live up to expectation. The question is, are you doing that right now? We're not supposed to become emotional about our choices. Because at the end of the day, Nigerians put him in power.
They voted for him.
Right.
Comrade, are you there? Hello, Comrade? Okay, so if it is about Nigerians putting him into office with a vote, maybe Nigerians should also not complain, but not everybody voted for Mr. President. Hello, Comrade, are you there?
I am very much with you, live.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
All right, better. So, well, let's start with the statement of Ogun State's ex-governor, Chief Olusegun Oshoba. Talking about the experience he had in 1999, and he even served for 2 terms in Ogun State. And talking about what Mr. President is currently facing. Remember, Tinubu said, don't pity me. But why are people pitying Mr. President? And can he survive 4 years?
Do you pity him? He asked for it, and he got it. And you see, when you are elected into office, even appointed into office, you acquire assets and liabilities, not just assets. And governance is a continuum. They did this, they did that. Well, you are in the driver's seat. The job, if there is a lot of mess there, you clear the mess. You will recall that when this American president, Barack Obama, came into office, he came straight into office and faced a recession. The man he didn't say, the last administration did this, the last administration did that. He just did the needful. You understand? You take responsibility. When you take office, you take responsibility. So, of course, those who are playing politics on the sideline, you have not heard from the president saying that the last administration did this, the last administration did that. You understand? But of course, you will hear some of the officials, in defense of the president, say this and that. And let me make you one thing abundantly clear. We are generally an impatient people. And I think some of it stems from ignorance. And I would not just call it ignorance, crass ignorance. People are ignorant. I hear people, open the border, open the border. What's the meaning of that? Then they have invested hundreds of billions, if not of more than a trillion, into the cultivation of rice and the processing of it. And they say, open the border, open the border. What's going to happen to those local producers of? You're going to kill their business. You're going to kill all the investment and time and energy that has been put into that. So it's a delicate balance. But I'm not going to write, is it taking the right steps? Of course, it took right steps, wrong timing. Those two policies that he announced inadvertently on his inauguration day. Yes, consequences are here. But production is the only answer. Production is the only answer to the challenges that we are currently confronted with. Are there efforts there towards production, fiscal policies? Yes, there are, even monetary policies. But if you give me, I'm a rice farmer now, you give me $1 billion today, I'm not going to produce, rice is not going to get to the market until a certain period of gestation. There's an American Warren Buffett will say, you don't get a child in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. You understand?
Right.
So that is it. We must be pragmatic. We must be realistic. You don't get 9 women pregnant in order to get a baby in 1 month.
Unfortunately, we're not seeing more of production in this current administration. What we're seeing is a higher cost in governance
And borrowings.
as there's a report of Nigeria's 289 delegates being the largest at the International Labour Conference happening in Geneva, Switzerland. And I'm just going to read out what the list contains. So the list includes 108 registered as government delegates, 62 names identified as employers delegates, and 116 others under workers delegates, while 2 identified as persons accompanying the minister. The minister being the Minister of State for Labor and Productivity, Nkuruka Onyejuocha. My question is, these doesn't come at free cost. This is monies spent for this international travels that would have easily been done in the comfort of their homes via Zoom. Because if you think about it, what are they going to this conference to do? Look at the climate conference we did last year that had the likes of Tokemakinwa and others who, till today, if you maybe question them about what they learned from that conference or what that conference has done to the productivity of this nation, we can't see any results. So why do we have cost of governance increasing over and over again? I think there's a report about buying a jet for the president and vice president. There's also the renovation of the president's, the vice president residency. The cost of governance keeps skyrocketing.
Well, you see, there are some of these conferences can be done via remote,
Virtually.
virtually. But there are some conferences that you just have to do physical.
With these numbers, comrade, with these
Wait a
numbers,
minute.
we're being the highest.
Well, the government delegation led by the honorable minister apparently had 2 people accompanying her. I will say that is very. I can even apply the word highly. A Nigerian minister traveling has only 2 people accompanying her. The director of this, director of that, permanent secretary, and then the personal aides of the minister. If it is true that only 2 people accompanied, of course, I think it is mandatory for them to be there. You understand? It is mandatory for Nigeria to be represented. You know, the labor ministry to be represented. If it is true that only 2 people accompanied the minister,
It's
that
impressive. Is that what you're saying?
Go and check them. Go and check. I've forgotten the Benji conference. Over 500 people. There was a jet. A whole jet was filled, and then they had to hire another jet to convey the stuff they bought. At government expense. You know. But if you say the cost of governance is going up, let me tell you. If a car or any hardware was bought for $1 million last year, of course you know that same hardware will be bought today for probably 4 or 5 million. So, real time, we may say the cost of governance has gone up. but probably only slightly. But if you say a car was bought last year for the office of the president for 50 million, and then that car is now selling for 120 million, yes, it has gone up in naira value. Has it gone up? Has it gone up in the dollar value where they buy it from? Certainly not. You understand? So some of these things are relative. We have to scrutinize things. Well, I feel uncomfortable when I see the motorcade of our government officials. When I see the motorcade of a governor, and I'm familiar with that, you can't have less than 10 vehicles. The governor alone, you can't have less than 10 vehicles. You can't even have 10. You will have at least 12. I feel very uncomfortable. When I see the presidential motorcade, I feel sick. I feel actually sick. It is when the American president travels, the American president's motorcade, and I mean the presidential motorcade, apart from 2 limousines, the Beast 1 and 2, and then the Secretary of State, the Chief of Staff, and one other person, and the military aide of the president are usually in one vehicle, sitting on jump seats, facing each other like they are in Molue. And then, of course, wherever the president goes, of course, there will be the security vehicles and all of that. Max 10. If the president is in New York, it is New York that will take care of that. If it is in Miami, Florida, it is Miami that the local police that will take care of that. Of course, there will be the presidential, people, the presidential secret service that will be on ground. But not that you will not have, sometimes you see long motorcades. But if you look at the long motorcade, or if the president is in New York or whatever, outside Washington, you will see that out of that motorcade, there's probably only 10 vehicles that belongs to the presidential fleet. You can't even have up to 10 of them. So it is, and they go to, look, there was a time I remember I used to go to the government pool to take fuel. And I was like, what kind of thing is this? You take fuel and nobody, as long as you are a face that they can identify. You understand? So all these things, newspaper, government still buy newspapers. What's that for? Why do you buy newspapers? If you want to keep newspapers, there are records on newspapers online. You can recall it. So all of this has to be cut. But you see,
comrade, I mean, for buying papers, for some people, they are not really used to, the virtual papers. I mean, newspaper platforms. Looking at adverts as well. Maybe there's some stories they feel like they can easily read on the papers. Maybe they can call, they can make reference to.
They can let them. They have aids. Let their aids, if they cannot operate their devices effectively, let them. They have aids for all sorts of purposes. Media aids, aids to the media aid. They have it. So let them use those ones to open the pages to them. We must cut the cost of governance. It is scary. You see, the presidential system in the American system is like a combination of monarchy and then the president. You see the American president, when it goes anywhere, it is like the American state. You understand? The state itself is there. You understand? That is the essence of the American presidential system. That the man is the state. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Okay.
What image are we projecting?
All right. Now,
we're a struggling nation. We're a poor nation. We don't need all of that.
Okay. So comrade, let us also look at that speech of Governor Seyi Makinde yesterday while having the State of the State address at the House of Assembly, looking at the achievements so far. I remember the 10th, for the anniversary of the House of Assembly as well. Has the House of Assembly been helpful so far? And some still saying it's a rubber stamp. They've never questioned Mr. Governor's request and plans. Is that what is keeping this administration going? Sometimes you must have check and balances as well.
You see, the parliament all over the world. They are to make laws. They are to appropriate.
Comrade, can you just adjust where you are because we're finding it difficult to hear you clearly?
Away from the rain.
Okay.
So, laws. You understand? Can you hear me now?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. The parliament, be it state assembly, be it national, be it regional, they are to make laws and then appropriate funds for financing of the state. And then even after appropriating, they have power to increase, they have power to cut. Then after doing that, they have to oversight the resources that they have allocated. This is I'm talking about constitutional power. To oversight, the body will give you, what have you done with it? The parliament is more powerful than the government itself. You understand? They are to manage, they are the people's representative, and we have to get that clear. I don't know this. Where have you had, today we see National Assembly, Senate Committee, House of Rep Committee, we see them going on oversight functions, don't we? Hello?
Yeah, we will see, but there's echo.
We see them going on oversight functions.
There's an echo back.
When did you see other House of Assembly committees go on oversight functions? There has been a lot of road construction ongoing. If I'm saying, or your woman show is saying, all of that ongoing, huge construction work. There is a committee in the National House of Assembly of what? Why did you hear them oversighting all those ongoing projects? The Avenue Shopping Complex transaction that became a waste that was admitted by the governor himself, 5 billion. Did you hear anything? Did we hear any oversight? Did we hear any proof? No. So, you don't know just as an example because it's our state. There have been any oversight functions that have had us. All they do is conform to whatever the government brings. Maybe they don't understand their function. Maybe they are just incapable of performing their function. I was speaking with somebody this morning, and I said, maybe the judiciary has what they call cost line charge. They say, what cost line charge? What if the money is not released? The power of release comes to the government. And let me assure you one thing. We are evolving. Look, there is ongoing decentralization and evolution of power. What those are declining, what they call it, restructuring. Look, there is no need for it. Restructuring is currently ongoing. You will see what we might. I have come with Vicky reading that the Supreme Court has reserved judgment. You will be shocked by the judgment that will come out regarding the local government. And then whichever local government now takes money and gives to the governor will have himself to blame with the EFCC. Restructuring is ongoing. All these emperor-like things that the governors are doing, writing roadshows over the local government, where development should emanate from. Let the state government building motor park, collecting money in market, collecting money from vehicles. I mean, just take development away from the local government. That is where development is. That is where the real people are. So, what do you call it? The revolution is ongoing. Just wait. It might look slow, but it's surely going to happen. It's happening already. So, Parliament should get it right. They should understand their role, and they should not compromise it. When in the National Assembly they say they are coming for oversight, you know they are not coming for any oversight. They are just coming to oversight and exchange of back swapping and exchange of brown envelopes.
Well, comrade, there was quite a struggle hearing you properly, so perhaps if you could adjust.
It is raining cat and dog there.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. We wouldn't know because we're in the studio. However, I don't know if you addressed...
You never know when you're in the studio.
Comrade, go and get coffee.
Fair enough. So I don't know if this was...
Okay.
I don't know if this
Thank
was
you.
part of what you addressed whilst you were talking about the local government, but as you know, there's a report on the Punch newspaper saying the Supreme Court has reversed the judgment on local government autonomy. And you were just speaking about how where the developments can start from the local government. This judgment, it's no longer in favor of the people. Would you say that?
No, I think it is actually reserved, not reversed. It should be reserved judgment.
Is
The
reverse,
Supreme Court,
yes. Not no, I didn't say reverse. Reverse. Supreme Court reverses judgment.
no, I think that's an error. It's reserved judgment. The Supreme Court has
Reserve.
No,
Reserves judgment.
The Supreme
Reserved.
Court has had
Okay.
argument. The
Reserves
Supreme
judgment.
Court has had argument from the council to the 36 governors and from the office of the Attorney General. You know, that is going to be a landmark judgment in this country. And then anyone that infringes on it will be a constitutional infraction. And and we are moving rather to a location where governors will be partially stripped of their immunity. And when therefore they commit criminal offenses, they can be indicted. We are moving. It might be looking slow. It might not look dramatic. You will see the impact of that judgment. It is clear. You see, you know, Buhari signed the executive order, and the court said no, you cannot sign that executive order regarding local government. You understand? So this Supreme Court judgment is expected. The state knows where the thing is going. So when it happens, it is going to be a landmark judgment in favor of governance and devolution of power in this country. And then the people, any local government chairman that is confident and that knows that he is performing, you understand? If he is performing with the resources he has, then let the government or whatever, and let the governor impeach him or suspend him. And we know the order is that it must be constitutionally, it must be democratically elected. Therefore, if it is not democratically elected, the funds will not be released. Therefore, they will have to conduct elections to replace. And if the man is popular, the people will defend their vote. That is when that is when the real movement. And then eventually it will lead to internal party democracy. Because if you feel an unpopular candidate, he will not win.
Okay. Comrade, yes, I mean, I got that. I also read that from what the CJ, I mean, the court, what the AGF is also pushing, why it had to take the state governors to court. But let's keep our fingers crossed and see what happens, you know, at the end of the day. All right, now, if it is more about that, let's talk about economy and let's talk about money. In the next few days, the Muslims will be celebrating Ileya. And if you look at the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, the last minute rush for Salah Rams and buyers lament exorbitant costs. This happened last year, and there's a continuation this year. How you advise a Muslim Nigerian, and yes, a Muslim Nigerian looking at the balance in his account to prepare and plan for this Ileya?
In Abeokuta, there is a tax free. They say, Shebo Simon.
Elewa Shakmo. Okay, Victory doesn't understand that.
Okay.
Cut your coat according to your clothes.
Cut your dress according to your clothes. So, don't overdo it. If you don't go to your village, Idris will still be celebrated. I remember one particular day I drove to Abuja and I was to drive down the following day. And the woman I went to deliver something to say, when are you going back? I said, I'll go back tomorrow. She said, why? I said, a friend of mine will be buried tomorrow. And the woman asked me, she said, if you are not there, they won't bury him, Abi. My shoulders came down a few inches.
All right.
If you are not there, so if you don't travel to your village, Idris will not hold. If you don't kill a ram There's always another day. There's always another day. Tomorrow, he will fight and run away. This is fight another day. Just take it easy. Last year you killed Iran. Oh yes, thank God. This year, you are probably on level. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. The joy. We should not miss the essence of Gideon Abel. The essence is that great sacrifice. That great sacrifice. So we should remember the essence, not the paraphernalia, not what we have created around it. You understand? So, and for me, of course, on startup, I will go to my former boss. In the past many years, I do that. I go to him, celebrate with him, and that is it. Please don't overdo it. There is no need. It lasts only one day. You are not even supposed to keep the meat. It is only your brother that you keep the meat for days and weeks. You will never find them in the north keeping the meat the following day. You have to divide it into 3 portions and share it accordingly. Okay. So don't overdo it. I wish Muslim faithful an enjoyable Eid al-Kabir.
Right. I mean, it's only an individual that has the means to purchase a ram that will be worried about if I should spend exorbitantly.
Available now.
Sorry?
$1 million rams are in the market.
Sorry for the laugh. I wish our Muslim. I believe that they've heard you, and this is wisdom, and I hope that they put it to use, because spending $1 million now for ram, you must have more than 5 million saved up somewhere.
You have more than 100 million now. I buy 1 million ram that you will eat and digest in less than 10 hours.
Right.
You want to eat 1 million?
Well, comrade, thank you so much for being a part of the conversation this morning and sharing your thoughts regarding the state of our nation. We hope to do this with you next week.
Always a pleasure, and I do not take this platform for granted. God bless you. God bless our union.
God bless Nigeria.
Well, you're listening to From the Dailies this morning right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9 FM. And we just concluded the newspaper headlines as well as analysis this morning. The voice you just listened to analyzing the papers is that of Comrade Ayodeji this morning. And it's about time we hear your voice. Nigeria, here's your voice as you speak to the issues that we've raised this morning as it concerns all of us as citizens of this great nation. To be a part of the conversation, you can call into the studios with the lines 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. 0904 422 2939 is another number you could use to reach out to us this morning. You can also send in messages via WhatsApp or regular text to 0904 422 2939. As we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Fridays are usually open mic, so there's an opportunity to react to a plethora of stories that we were unable to address today. That way, we can summarize the stories that made the front page of our newspapers for this week. All right, so do also send in those messages with 0904 422 2939 or call in with 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939.
all about information, education, and entertainment.
Maybe that's before now. Solutions 93.9 FM has raised the standard of radio broadcast to preferring solutions in all human angle. 939 FM, the remedy.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Alright, still AM update live on Solutions 93.9 FM. Remember, the phone lines are 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. You can as well try 0904-422-2939, 0904-422-2939. Well, you can as well send us a message via X. We are live this morning. Tweet at us at Solutions 939 FM. On Facebook, it is at Solutions 939 FM. So let's check some messages out this morning. Okay, so do we have messages there before I check some we have here?
All right, we have a message here from Coolbender, and he says, "Good morning. Let me just pretend and act surprised about what this government is doing. Even the labor union had delegates from the 289 delegates sent for the International Labour Organization conference happening in Geneva, Switzerland. This country is not concerned about the plight of the poor masses, but about what will be beneficial to them." Another comment here says, "Didn't the president during Galale put a statement limiting the number of delegates taken to this kind of event? Or did I read wrong? And yet the country is broke. This narrative the federal government pushes out daily while the officials keep showing up for international events is just a slap to the intelligence of Nigerians." Another comment here says, "If Ajaro and any of the Labour members are part of the delegates going for the ILO conference, it only tells us that they are fighting for their own cause and not for the good of Nigerians." Another comment here from James says, "In this country called Nigeria, the rich keeps getting richer and the poor keeps getting poorer. If I was part of the delegates, of course I would be excited, so I cannot blame those people who are happy to be sent to Geneva."
Hello, good morning.
All right, keep it coming to 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. These are the numbers you can get through to us this morning. Another message here from Andy says, okay, let's take this call. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
This is Ruth calling from Malaka.
Okay, Ruth, let's have your take.
Thank you. I want to contribute on the minimum wage.
All right, let's go.
The 62,000 minimum wage by the federal government really shows the government is not serious to the issue that concerns the masses. Considering the level of hardship and high inflation rate in the nation, and I will urge the labor union to pull the federal government and the governor that refused to pay minimum wage on toll. But the nation is bleeding already. See your state here. See the way it's paying his workers on a daily basis. Even the Lagos state governor. So what is that difficult for the federal government not to pay? So why are they taking us with everything hand? It's very bad. And they keep buying SUV for their senators. They keep building vice president house. But they refuse to do the workers very well. It's very bad. God bless Nigeria. That's my contribution.
All right, thank you very much, Ruth. God bless Nigeria. All right, 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939, 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. You can as well try 0904 4222939.
All right, we're still taking messages, so do also send it via the number as well, and tweet at us at solutions93.9 FM. All right, this government keeps spending the taxpayers' money to their own benefit. 289 delegates are flying to Geneva for jamboree and pictures because this is what will happen after this conference. There would be no benefit for Nigerians. There would be no instrumental value to the people of this nation. This country is indeed becoming a joke. I hope that we have some celebrities part of the delegates. This is coming from Charles, because that is what we saw during the climate change conference. They were just taking pictures and doing paparazzi, peppering poor masses who were unable to attend the conference. I wish them all the best.